There was a music manager in Mumbai. I mean, I've told this story to a few people, and she was talented. She was trained in Hindustani music. She was a wonderful musician and singer, and she really knew her music. If she listened to a song, she'll tell you everything about it, the history, the tal, everything she could tell you about it. And she was the music manager for Red. And just before we made this transition, I brought in this research and I said, we're going to use this from now on. And this is going to sequence things and it's going to be algorithmic, purely and utterly an algorithm. She said, then what's my job? I said, you can have a look at this and see if things don't make sense, if you can make it make sense better. And she said, but then my job is to select the songs. I said, this does it better. In fact, if you can learn how to do this manually, that's the ultimate. Because if a human being can apply emotion and cultural values of what's going on right now with an algorithmic process, we don't need the computer. But of course, you do need the computer. She left in a huff and a puff, and there was I had to get a new music manager in, and I was interviewing people in a different location, not the radio station, and I was doing interviews in one conference room, and next door there was another set of interviews going on, and this guy comes in, one candidate for music manager, and I meet him, and I asked the same questions. I said, do you like Bollywood music? Because yeah, I want people who say, Bollywood, fuck yeah. S and Shankar, Ram, some, yes, that's what I wanted. I didn't want somebody critical. I like some, I want somebody to say, fuck, that's my life. I could do it. I said, okay. He said, yeah, I love Bollywood music. And he was out now, unashamedly passionate. I said, okay, next question. How are you with numbers? He said, I love numbers. How are you with Excel and grids and spreadsheets? You can handle like formulas. He said, yeah, I love that stuff. There and then I said, do you want to do the job? Just on that. It turns out he was being interviewed for the accountancy job next door. He came in by accident.
Vernon, Vernon, my radio ka king, the Vernon, my uta sine zamo, efe ka hero.